Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today, let's jump right into the lesson. This is going to be a lesson filled with much review. And so let me share my screen and let's jump right into it. Today, our lesson is going to be SB 6-2, dividing mixed numbers. Again, that is SB 6-2, dividing mixed numbers. That's what it says up here. This is our 14th lesson. As far as the numbers that we will be responsible for today, there will be numbers 1, which is A, B, and C. Numbers 3, only A through D. So that's really going to be 3A, 3B, 3C, and 3D. That's what I mean by that. 3A through D. So that's 4 problems right there. 4 problems, sorry. And then number 7, which is a word problem, which we'll do in this video, and number 8, which you can do on your own. So it's a short assignment. In fact, if you were in class, chances are you finished or you were very close to finishing. If you missed class today, then hopefully this video will be helpful. Before we begin, let's review a few terms. Let us remember what a mixed number is, just like we have here in our first example today, which is number 1A, one of our problems. A mixed number like 2/3. Let us remember that a mixed number is made up of a whole number mixed with a fraction. A whole number, meaning we have 2 whole of something. So if this was pizzas and they were cut into thirds, they would have 1 pizza that's 3 pieces, another pizza that's another 3 pieces making up that whole, and then 2 out of 3 pieces. So 2 wholes and a fraction. Right? Something that we must remember about mixed numbers is the fact that I can change mixed numbers into improper fractions using what we call the Texas two-step or the Texas method, where we multiply the denominator times the whole number. So 3 times 2, that would be 6. And then to that, we add the numerator, so 6 plus 2. So this would be the same thing as 8/3. These are the exact same thing. There are 2 forms of the same thing. So a mixed number can be changed to an improper fraction. An improper fraction can be changed back to a mixed number by dividing, but we'll do some more of that in a little bit. Secondly, I want us to remember the term that we learned yesterday, and that term is reciprocal. Reciprocal. And again, reciprocal, as we saw yesterday, is not a bad word, though it is a harsh word. It sounds really mean, right? Like you reciprocal. But anyways, reciprocal simply means the flipped version of a fraction. So for example, here in 1A, we have 2 2/3. We change that into its improper fraction form. So we have 8/3. And if I wanted to get the reciprocal of 8/3, I would just flip it, and that would be 3/8. By the way, that is the answer to 1A. For 1A, B, and C, we just have to find the reciprocal of that mixed number. And in order to find the reciprocal of a mixed number, we change it to its improper fraction, and we simply flip it over. So the reciprocal of 8/3 is 3/8. There you go. We just did number 1A. Let's do number 1B as an example again. So here we have 5 and 5/11. This is 5/11. We're going to use the Texas two-step, where we're going to multiply 11 times 5. 11 times 5 is 55. Plus 5, that's going to give us 60/11. 60/11. What would be the reciprocal of 60/11? Well, we just flip it over. 11/60. There it is. That would be the answer to number 1B. 1C. Okay, we're going to do the Texas two-step. 10 times 9 is 90, plus 9 is going to give us 99. We shift the denominator over. It's going to be the same denominator, 99/10. So what is the reciprocal? It's going to be 10/99. And that is the answer to 1C. Super simple. Just a quick review. And yes, those are the answers to those that you have to put on Schoology and on your notebook. Please show me your work. Show me how you got the mixed number into an improper fraction and how you change that improper fraction into its reciprocal. Very good. Now let's review division. So 3A, B, C, and D are all division problems. Okay? And if you remember, when I'm dividing fractions, well, before we can even divide, let's change these mixed numbers into improper fractions. So we're going to use the Texas two-step once again. So right here we have 1 and 5/7 divided by 1 and 3/7. So let's first change these, because we cannot, just as with multiplication, we cannot divide mixed numbers. So we cannot multiply mixed numbers. We cannot divide mixed numbers. So let's change them. So 7 times 1 is 7 plus 5 is going to give me 12 sevenths divided by 7 times 1 is 7 plus 3, 10. We keep the same denominator, sevenths. So that is my new problem here. 12 sevenths divided by 10 sevenths. How am I going to do that? Well, let's apply the, let's remember the acronym that I taught you yesterday for dividing fractions. That acronym was keep, change, and finally flip. If you don't remember this, watch the video from yesterday. Keep, change, flip. Meaning that we're going to keep the first fraction or number exactly the same. We're going to change the sign or the operation from division to multiplication, and then we're going to flip the second fraction onto its reciprocal. Another way to remember that would be Kentucky Chicken Fried. Whatever you need to remember that order. Keep, change, flip. KCF, KCF. So let's go ahead and do this. So we're going to keep the 12 sevenths exactly the same, 12 sevenths. We're going to change the division to multiplication, and then we are going to flip 10 sevenths into its reciprocal, which is 7 tenths. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am ready to multiply. So I can do the first method where I'm just going to multiply 12 times 7 and 7 times 10, which is going to give me 84 over 70. And I can simplify that. Now, this is also an easy one to do the second method too, because we have a 7 on top on the numerator and I have a 7 on the denominator, so I can cross those out. All right, and what I have left over is 12 tenths, which again, if you divide 84 and 70 both by 7, that would actually give you 12 tenths. And then I can divide that by 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6, 10 divided by 2 is 5, and that would give you 6/5. Now, while I can't simplify that anymore, we don't want our answers as improper fractions, so we need to change it back to a mixed number. By dividing, remember that this is very similar to the division symbol. So we're going to divide 6 by 5. 6 goes inside. We divide by 5. 5 goes into 6 once. 5 times 1 is 5. We subtract. 6 minus 5 is 1. Therefore, my answer is going to be 1 whole. And we have same denominator. So we're going to keep the same denominator of 5. And 5. So it's going to be 1 and 1/5. That's the answer to 3A. 1 and 1/5. So again, let's recap. We change the mixed numbers to improper fractions wherever we can. We apply KCF, keep, change, flip. So we keep the first number, change the second, change the operation, and then flip the second number, and then we just multiply, same as we were doing before. That is something that you should know how to do by now. If I were to do 3B, let's do 3B together also. Okay, so 5, we know that's 5 over 1, but 3 and 3/4, we need to change this to a mixed number, so that's going to give me 5 over 1, sorry, improper fraction, divided by 4 times 3 is 12 plus 3, 15/4. Okay, you should know how to get to here at least. Let's apply the acronym keep, change, that's a K, that's a C, and flip, KCF, KCF. So we're going to keep the 5 over 1. We're going to change the division to multiplication, and then we're going to flip the second fraction to 4/15. You can just go ahead and multiply these together. 5 times 4 is 20. 1 times 15 is 15. Let us simplify this by dividing by 5. I can divide each of these by 5, which would give me 4/3. That I can't simplify, but I can change it back to a mixed number. So 4 divided by 3. Remember 4, first number goes inside, divided by 3. 3 goes into 4 once. 3 times 1 is 3. We subtract, my answer would be 1 and 1/3. 1 whole, that's where this 1 came from. Remainder of 1, we keep the same denominator, 1 and 1/3. And that is what you will do for C and D as well. Make sure that you do those 2 problems. Feel free to pause this, rewind. I know I'm going fast, but it's because you have that option. All right, so let's go now to our textbook because we're going to be doing number 7 and 8 as well. However, let's do these together. All right, so let's do number 7, and we'll talk about number 8 in a little bit. So number 7, let me zoom in. It says that Ted has 18 feet of lumber, so that's important. 18 feet of lumber, meaning that he has, pictured as a piece of wood that is 18 feet long. I don't know if you can buy a piece of wood that is 18 feet long, but let's just suppose that he bought enough to make 18 feet put together. The question is, how many shelves can he make? How many 2.5 foot shelves can he make? In other words, we're going to take our long piece of wood, 18 feet long, and I'll show you what I did here in a second. We're going to take that long piece of wood and we're going to divide it into sections that are 2.5 feet long. So this represents my 18-foot long shelf. 18-foot long piece of wood. So here we have 1 foot, 2 feet, 3 feet. So each line is really 1 foot. So 1 foot, 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, all the way down to 18 feet. So again, these are my feet. And I'm going to be dividing it into sections that are 2.5 feet long. So here's 1 foot, 2.5 feet. So there we go. So I cut it right there. And I'm going to keep cutting it. And we'll see this model more in a little bit. But really what's happening is we have 18. And we're dividing 18 into 2.5. Do we not know how to do this? We've just done this. 18 is the same thing as 18 over 1. 2.5, I'm going to use the Texas method. That's going to give me 5 halves, correct? Because 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5, and it is a division problem. Let's apply keep, change, flip. So we're going to keep this, the first number the same, keep. We're going to change the division to multiplication, and then we're going to flip the second fraction. Now we're just going to multiply. 18 times 2, which is 36. And 5 times 1, or 1 times 5, which is just 5. That is simplified, so then we're going to divide 36 by 5. 36 divided by 5 to make it back into a mixed number. 5 goes into 36 7 times. 5 times 7 is 35. We subtract, and our answer is going to be 7 1/5. 7 1/5. So if you notice, whenever I divided my 18-foot long piece of wood right here, and I divided it into sections that were 2.5, again, 1, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, I ended up getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, enough wood to make 7 shelves, and then I had some wood left over. The problem with that leftover wood, ladies and gentlemen, is that that wood is useless to me. I cannot make a shelf out of that. The question was, how many shelves can I make? Well, I can only make 7. I can only make 7 shelves because the last 1 foot is useless to me. So the answer would actually just be 7. Not 7 1/5, because the question was saying, again, how many shelves can I make? I can make 7 shelves. That extra wood is useless to me. In number 8, you're going to do something very similar because it says Claire has 38 yards of material. I don't know what material she's using. It's like cloth, so 38 yards of material to make costumes. She needs 2 3/8 yards for each costume. How many costumes can she make? In other words, we're going to take 38 and we're going to divide it into sections that are 2 3/8 long. Fortunately, and I'm going to give you a huge hint, it's going to give you a whole number. Your answer is going to be a whole number. You're going to make exactly a certain number of costumes with that material. So you won't have to just get the whole number as you did in number 7. You guys know how to do that. 38 divided by 2 3/8. Follow the same steps that we did. Rewind the video if you need help. View the examples that I did at the beginning. But make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that you submit and that you upload your homework. This is a very, very short assignment. There's no reason why you should not be able to finish. Those of you who were in class know that you did most, if not all, of the work in class. So it was a short assignment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Don't forget that I've also posted videos online on Schoology that can help you under the resources folder, that can help you get through today's lesson. So please don't forget about those videos. My Schoology is taking forever. Go to resources. And it would be under 14, dividing mixed numbers. You can find that there. All right, with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you get this, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.